Hello and welcome to gaming and welcome to another eSports Boxing Club update video. So we discussed briefly about the launch of the gameplay trailer from the fighter announcement video that came out a few days ago. So we just had a dev update in the last hour or so where the dev team have responded to some of the criticisms that came out from the gameplay scene in that fighter announcement showcase, and we're going to explore that. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the criticisms as well that were given to the gameplay that we saw. I was going to do like a separate video going through and really breaking down the showcase, but I feel with this development update I don't need to do that any longer. We can sort of smush everything together in one video. So as you can see here, a post has been uploaded to the Steel Sea Interactive Instagram, as well as the Esports Boxing Club Instagram, and basically, yeah, they just say general update on the development stuff, how they're going to be expanding the team. Obviously, it started out with a small development team, but they've filled 5 new positions, and they are looking to ramp that up throughout the roadmap of the game. On the gameplay front, we have now implemented 3 complete movement and punch sets, and that will increase during the early access. There's an adrenaline system which they've implemented, groundbreaking new feature in boxing games. We'll talk about this more in the upcoming gameplay video, which is coming at some point during this week, I believe. So they say that the game is now in a complete playable state and demo builds are being sent to their partners. So that is extremely exciting. That means we are going to be seeing the game very soon, at least in some playable format. So they give a thanks to everyone for watching and saying they hope that we enjoyed their showcase. They kind of address the gameplay snippets then, like I said in the intro. We included some gameplay snippets during this show, and whilst we have noted some of the feedback regarding the punches, we would like to address the following. So this is obviously Martial Mind did a video really sort of going into how he wasn't impressed with what he saw from the gameplay, the punches and things. And I watched that video and I was kind of thinking, like, because for me, I'm more of a layman, like, you know, we all know what a punch looks like, but we don't all know sort of the technical aspects of boxing. Like, I've never boxed. As I've said repeatedly on this, I'm not an actual boxing fan myself. I don't watch boxing fights, but I do like boxing video games. So for someone like me, this Martial Mind talking about it really sort of made me think, oh, maybe, you know, maybe he's right, maybe that isn't quite so good. But then you have Boxing Fanatico, who made a reply video to Martial Mind, who said that he's done boxing himself. I don't know about Martial Mind's background. I have no idea what sort of background he has with the sport, but Boxing Fanatico said that he has boxed. He's been involved in the sport at some level, and he was giving a real great detailed response to how the punches and the moves and things were improved from the original trailer that we saw. He did admit that, yeah, some of it looks a little bit slow still, and that he would be hoping that it would improve, but overall he gave a really good defense of the way this game looks when the boxers are in the ring. And he even drew some comparisons to like the Fight Night game, which of course we've got to remember Fight Night Champion was released in 2011, but he did showcase that that had some very strange looking punches, almost playing into like a hyper movie style that some people are used to from maybe seeing things like Rocky or whatever like that. And he showed some footage of professional fights, certain punches in professional fights, and I thought he did a really good job of basically making a response to Martial Mind. So here in the bullet points, I'll finally get to it. Sorry, I rambled on a bit there. The clips shown had no context, so they were open to interpretation. This is something we take responsibility for, and I think that point there comes back to what Boxing Fanatico pointed out, was some of the clips that they showed, the boxers were in a fatigued state, a tired state, and of course your punches do look worse if you are tired. So I think that's what they're saying there. They didn't apply any context. They didn't say this is showing 2 fighters in a fatigue state in the latter stages of a fight. Our upcoming gameplay video will go into detail regarding all the mechanics in play so fans can better understand how we're trying to make eSports Boxing Club as realistic as possible whilst making it fun to play. This is something that I was thinking about doing a video on as well. For me, coming from it as not a fan of actual boxing and watching fights, you know, I have watched them in the past, but it's not something that I do regularly. So I've wondered, am I going to enjoy this game? Because it's going to be a boxing sim, right? It's going to be like as close to real life as they can make it. Whereas with the Fight Night games, it's a little bit more arcadey, and maybe that's why someone like me can get into that. I don't know, we'll see. I might do a video on that and lay that out a bit more for you guys. We would like to state that all of our movement and punches have been motion captured by amateur, professional, national and world championship boxers. Now this point is addressing something that Martial Mind said. He brought up in his video that he didn't know who'd mocapped some of the punches and the movesets and things, and he was kind of alluding to the fact that it looked unprofessional, I think, but this is obviously Steel City replying to that without naming names. I think they've gone about this really well. Obviously they haven't let it get to them, but they've responded to it in the correct way. Not only this, but we've had feedback from world champion trainers as part of our process. There's a balance that we have to make between what fans want to see and what actually happens in the ring, including signature moves. Whilst we take on board all feedback, we have to stress that ESBC will have a separate casual mode. It is not an arcade game. It will be relying on simulation aspects as we try to recreate the sweet science. And then, to close off the little development update here, we do get a little bit of a insight into when this is going to launch. Now, I predicted it would be a summer early access, and it looks like I was correct. I've had people in my comments saying, no, it'll be sooner than that. But here at the bottom, it does say, we are confident that ESBC will come out of alpha and launch into early access this summer. Now, that doesn't mean it's definitely going to. Of course, things could delay it. But that is the plan, and that is what I predicted. So that's one for Welcome to Gaming. So what do you guys think about the little snippets of gameplay that we saw and the response here that Steel City Interactive have given? What did you think to what Martial Mind said? What did you think to Boxing Fanatico said? I'm still really on board with this. I'm really excited for this gameplay trailer that's coming out at some point this week. We will have a reaction video here on Welcome to Gaming, so if you're interested to see what my thoughts are on the gameplay trailer, then make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video.